By now, all of you have seen the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, and listen, if you have any reservations, and if you're thinking, well, this kind of looks like an ordinary episode, kind of the last episode of the season, well, you might be right. I said that in the review of the trailer itself when it released that day because it kind of seemed so. Let me just start by saying that the moment I saw the leaked trailer that was in Star Wars Celebration, I immediately felt somewhat underwhelmed by the whole idea, by the whole thing. As of right now, the synopsis, anybody involved with this project, going from Jon Favreau, who has done for Disney mostly mid-movies. As of right now, the last one I remember him doing is The Lion King, the recreation of live-action Lion King, and it kind of did mid. It wasn't anything special. So now Jon Favreau is back for this. So why should we, believe that Mandalorian and Grogu will be different? And yeah, there's more, believe it or not, because the terrible titles of Star Wars movies do continue, and it didn't stop with The Rise of Skywalker. I clearly remember back in 2019, 2018 when it was first announced. The Rise of Skywalker was one of the worst titles of any Star Wars movie. The Phantom Menace is still kind of nostalgic and interesting. Attack of the Clones might be the worst ones. It's just something that happens in the movie, so that's how the movie is named. But, The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi, it's not the worst title ever. The Rise of Skywalker was just infamously bad. And now we have another one, Mandalorian and Grogu. It's like a skit TV show. It's like a skit on SNL or something like that. So that's the title itself. So this movie, it doesn't have, and I'm gonna say now how it could recuperate the fans that I think it has already lost, and this is why I'm saying that it's a very bad start at this point. So Star Wars Celebration was a very underwhelming trailer. I've seen the trailer, it's good, you can see, Zeb in live action, but there's nothing special. Ed Walker's falling on snow, it's not anything new, we've seen that decades and decades ago. Din Djarin doing some moves and Grogu being funny. This is why people are kind of underwhelmed, because it's just a regular episode that you can watch in the Mandalorian TV series. It had a bad start at Star Wars Celebration. Then the title was revealed, an underwhelming title. Now we have an official teaser, which is kind of the same thing as the Star Wars Celebration trailer, just reworked a bit with some new footage. Babu Frick was very much more involved in this one rather than in Star Wars Celebration. And even Babu Frick, I'm sorry to say, cannot save this marketing plot, because at this point, the marketing for this movie has been just subpar and terrible. And what I'm waiting for, and I think this is what it can turn things around, but at this point I'm really skeptical, is maybe showing more out of Thrawn, out of Ezra Bridger, out of Dathomir, how the movie is supposed to progress. If the movie is just Mandalorian and Grogu, so at this point we've seen 3 seasons of them, and I'm sorry, but how can you expand the mystery on just a single movie? This is what the next trailer should answer. It should answer the fans and my question that I just posed. How does this make this different from another season of The Mandalorian? Why didn't we get season 4 instead? Just if you can answer that question, then I'm guessing we're okay. Or they just clammed in a movie instead of a TV series, which I think will result in a very, very underwhelming movie, judging by what has happened recently with Disney, and by that point with Warner Bros. And everybody. Nobody's really hitting that $1 billion mark. The only movies getting that $1 billion mark are animated movies, nostalgia movies like Minecraft and Super Mario, Sonic, all these other movies that don't rely heavily on story or plot. It's just nostalgia bait, and that's it. Star Wars perhaps is playing to that, because Mandalorian and Grogu might not be a Super Mario Bros. Movie or a Minecraft movie, but it's still Mandalorian and Grogu, even though it's from 2019, so how nostalgic it can be really. It's just 7 years old when the movie comes out. But who knows? They might turn it around. For me and for other Star Wars fans that are older, like myself, and even younger fans, the only way to really save this movie, I've said this time and time again, and again, I'm gonna be like a broken record, but the only way to save this movie is if you feature Luke Skywalker. That's the only way I see this possible. Luke shattered every record by returning in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. We saw peak Luke, and just that hallway scene, that fight scene is just something magnificent that we still turn to today to look at. and is magnificent. And then you have the clear connection. Grogu, one of the characters in the title of this movie, is heavily connected to Luke Skywalker, so it won't be that crazy for Luke to get into this movie because he's the quote-unquote master of Grogu. Grogu might not be the apprentice of Luke as of right now, but he was at one point. Luke was the master, Grogu was the apprentice. There's a clear connection there, and Din Djarin knows Luke Skywalker. He met him once when he came to pick up Grogu for training. So they already know each other, and he has a clear history with Mandalorian and Grogu especially. So why not bring back Luke Skywalker? And for me, I've said it again and again, you should recast Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill cannot play him anymore. The stunt doubles and the AI face, I don't know how good it would play in a movie, in a full-scale movie. But if you recast it with Sebastian Stan, I don't think anybody would complain, honestly, Disney. And if you want to get to $1 billion, you need to get Luke Skywalker into that second trailer. So the second trailer for me is clearly you have Mandalorian and Grogu fighting, getting into all these scenes. I kind of like the, Hutt, Rhoda the Hutt. I think it's Rhoda, the son of Jabba, that is in the Gladiator scene. All is good with that part. I'm fine with those things. We need some Thrawn in there, some Dathomir that would set the stage up, Ezra Bridger, but the trailer ends. Imagine this, trailer number 2 ends with Luke Skywalker igniting his green lightsaber. We see Sebastian Stan, and perhaps he says a line, perhaps he doesn't. That doesn't really matter. Or, he says, hello there. It rhymes. It's Star Wars. So, Disney, Lucasfilm, take it from me. I might not be a marketing genius. I might not work in the HR department or marketing department, or I haven't made $1 billion movie yet, but I know what the fans want because I'm a fan myself. I'm a diehard fan. If you tell me that in The Mandalorian and Grogu, Luke Skywalker is going to play a significant role, let's not say prominent role, he's going to play a significant role in The Mandalorian and Grogu, then not only do you have me there, you're going to have a lot more other people that are not really interested in Star Wars, but they are interested in Luke Skywalker coming back again to the silver screen. And in his biggest, most prowess, most powerful, era of that time. He is the greatest Jedi of that time. Ezra is not, Ahsoka is not. I'm sorry. They don't compare to Luke Skywalker. And we've never seen Luke Skywalker as powerful as he is during this specific time, Mandalorian and Grogu era. Not even in Return of the Jedi, and especially not Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that. So Luke Skywalker coming back equals $1 billion. Disney and Lucasfilm. So trailer number 2 might feature Luke Skywalker, and that's what's gonna save this what seems like mediocre movie at this point. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Leave any comments you have down below. I'd love to hear them.